So the news coronavirus, it's dubbed COVID-19, and it's spread throughout the whole world now. And most of the media attention has been directed towards prevention and quarantine. And whilst properly washing your hands and avoiding crowds is a good idea, if you live near an affected area, it's important to also take steps to boost your immune system in case you actually come in contact with the virus, so that the body can effectively fight it back. Now, I'm sure we all know that the immune system is designed to fight off infection and disease, but how does it do that? How does the immune system work? Now, this will be the telling bit, whether we've got everything in sequence. We do. So, several important systems in our body used to keep us. They're used to keep us alive. If they weren't there, we wouldn't be living today. The two most important are the inline defense systems against disease. They're the immune system, and we've heard about this before, the lymph system. So the immune system is like a police force, really. It constantly patrols every organ and tissue in your body. It's there to keep you alive and healthy, and the system can attack foreign invaders, or it can actually go after cells within your body that could be an endangerment to your life, like cancer cells. It works closely with the circulatory and the lymphatic system for the production of lymphocytes, but I'm going to talk about that shortly. So let's talk about defense and immunity. There are many cells and organs that work together to protect our body. And some types of white blood cells called phagocytes, they chew up invading organisms. They literally do that. They engulf them, they chew them up, swallow them, spit them out. And others called lymphocytes, they help the body remember the invaders and they destroy them. So we have two lines of defense against invaders. And that's one of them. I'm going to come back to him. He's the lymphocyte, which is an ugly looking brute, isn't it? Anyway, I guess the best way of describing it is that between the phagocytes and lymphocytes, what's the difference? So a phagocyte is like a soldier with a machine gun. And there are many different cells that are actually phagocytes. They've got different names and they've got different roles. But they're like the soldiers out in the front line with machine guns, and they shoot any invaders. Well, they don't shoot them in this case. They actually engulf them and swallow them up, a bit like monsters. And the others are called the lymphocytes. They're a bit like the Secret Service, the MI5. They help remember all the features about that particular virus or infection. And so that the next time they're invaded by that particular virus, they're very quick to annihilate that invader. So they're the two different types. The phagocyte, like the soldier with a machine gun, and the lymphocyte is the MI5, and they hide out in all sorts of different places, particularly their organs throughout the body. So they're the two lines of defense, and they actually work together to keep us alive. Let's look at that immediate defense system. So it may surprise you, but one of the most important parts of our immune system is the largest organ of your body. Do you know what that is? You don't? Okay. It's your skin. Yeah. And your skin is usually the first line of defense your body has against disease. There's far more chance that you'll get dangerous bacteria or viruses on your skin and hands than breathing them in through your lungs. Now, you have cells and compounds on your skin that help to kill any bacteria that land on your skin. And one of those, it's called a phagocyte. Its actual name is a macrophage. Now, he's the nasty little guy. Well, he's very kind to you, but to an invader, he's nasty. He will come. You can see there. He's the big blue one on the left-hand side. He's attacking that invader cell. He will actually engulf it and process it. The process is called phagocytosis, He engulfs the particle and then he just digests it. So apart from the skin, macrophages can be found in other areas of the body, like the lungs and the organs of the immune system, like the spleen, the lymph nodes, what's the other one? Bone marrow. So the main difference between lymphocytes and phagocytes is the lymphocyte generally is a specific immune response against pathogens, where the phagocyte generally treats he's the machine gun type. He'll go after everything, but he hasn't got the memory that the lymphocyte has got. So let's get back to the skin. I really want to refer you to a video I reposted on Pain Free World a few days ago. A microbiologist from Sydney was talking to a young salesperson about why we should not be using alcohol sanitizers to wash your hand every time. So I urge you to watch that video. It's not far down on the page in Pain Free World. So what I'm going to do, I'm hoping this come up. Yeah, okay. You can see, there's me on that page, so I'm going to just scroll down and find that video. There it is, down the bottom there. Now this video here, I'll actually play a little bit for you, because I think this is important.
Hey, I'm here having lunch with Peter Dew, and he is a medical microbiologist, and I just said, we just shook hands, and then I said we shouldn't have done that, and then I sanitized myself. And then he started telling me about this.
Well, we have two forms of protection against infection. The first one is our skin, which is called the epidermis. The second one is the billions of bacteria, normal flora that coat our skin, called Staphylococcus epidermidis. When you apply alcohol and sanitizers, you're removing normal flora from your skin, making it ready for any other microbes, infectious microbes, to enter your skin should you have a break, a cut, or an abrasion. So if you've been working in a sewer, please do use sanitizer, but soap and water is all you need to remove any normal bacteria, and let your normal protection, your Staphylococcus epidermis, let it live. Don't kill it with sanitizer.
So applying alcohol to your skin is killing a natural protective layer.
Yes.
But soap and water doesn't kill it, it just gets rid of the germ on top of it.
Anything you may have applied, because the Staphylococcus is deeper embedded into the skin. Yep. So if you touch your dog poo, you get bacteria on your skin, wash it off with soap and water.
Okay. So what about if somebody's got this sort of evil virus and they cough on you, droplets hit your skin, would you put that on it?
How would you cough on someone?
I don't know, I guess you forgot to put your hand up your
one
mouth.
thing I've seen with, don't put your hand on your mouth. I've seen a lot of, around Singapore, people cough like this. There's only one way to cough, and that's into your sleep. Because if you cough into your hand, as soon as you touch anything, plate, shake a hand, then you transmit germs. So we always cough like this in Australia. We always cough like this in Australia.
Okay, so somebody coughed like that, or whatever. Maybe they did that and they put it on they touched something, and then you touch that same thing. You've now transferred the virus or the germ for its lifespan on that thing.
Yes.
Is that going to help you kill it?
That'll get rid of the virus, but I'd rather you, after you cough, wash your hands in soap and water.
Instead of using this thing?
Yeah. So surgeons, when they operate on you, don't use that.
Right.
Surgeons, when they operate, you scrub with soap and water for 30 minutes.
So...
Okay, I think you've got the gist of that. Get back to me. Yeah, I hope you got the gist of that, and I hope you could hear it. It's a bit muffled, so maybe it's better if you go and have a look at the video yourself. At least you now know where it is on that page. I've just got to get rid of it. How do I do that?
So we've all gone out and bought all of this stuff, and...
Okay, got rid of it. So yeah, go onto our Pain Free World and scroll down until you find it. It's only 8 minutes long, but it's really worth watching because it's a different take on using alcohol and sanitizers on your skin all of the time. Okay, listen to Peter. He's a microbiologist, and he's got some good information there. One of the big problems with the immune system is also that it's not perfect. We also have genetic problems with the immune system. Something as simple as an allergic reaction happens because an individual can't properly tolerate certain allergens. Like when inflammation or hay fever occurs, normal individuals can destroy their allergens, but people who are allergic, they can't defend themselves. So you could have an allergy to animals, like, oh, she's gone, food or plants. Some allergic reactions are so extreme they can actually kill. So the immune system isn't all that we would want it to be. However, let's get back to the other side of it. What does the lymph system do? We've talked a lot about the first line defense and the phagocytes and the way that they deal with immediate danger, one of which is that macrophage chomping every pathogen it can find. But now we need to look at the lymphocytes, that's the MI5, the Secret Service, and how they work. So let's have a look at okay, we've got the lymph system here. It's a network of tissues and organs that help rid the body of toxins, wastes, and other unwanted materials. It's actually acting like a cellular cleanup crew. It's the sewerage system of your body, the cellular sewerage system. So the lymph nodes and other lymphatic structures like the spleen and the thymus hold special white blood cells, which we call the lymphocytes. You've already seen one of those. That's the lymphocyte. Remember, he's part of the MI5, the Secret Service, taking in all the information that they can, and they can rapidly multiply and release antibodies into that provide a response to bacteria and viruses, etc. So lymphocytes, they learn about their foes so that they can more adequately fight them. And if this is when they appear next time, that's if they appear next time, of course. So they're ready there to fight the enemy. So the lymph system is closely associated with your immune system. And what we can do, what really can we do to assist or even give our immune system a boost? That entire process of fighting pathogens, and it's called phagocytosis, it actually requires an enormous amount of energy, mostly in the form of what we call ATP. It's adenosine triphosphate. That's an organic compound that provides energy to drive many of the processes in living cells. And this is one of the reasons why we feel so tired when we're fighting illness. It's the phagocytosis and the energy that's required by the cells fighting, our immune system is fighting against these allergens. And when that happens, then we start to become drained of energy. So the strength of the immune system really depends on a person's metabolism. It varies from person to person. And what's more, from day to day, because it's the ability to fight off infection that fluctuates, and it depends on so many different factors. So here are a few things that we can do to keep our immune system in check, particularly during this COVID-19 outbreak. So what we really want to do is to reduce stress. Now that's a problem. Well, I don't know about you, but I get more scared about what's happening in the supermarkets than I do about catching this jolly virus. Well, all the daily headlines are sowing doom and gloom about the coronavirus. It's easy to stress over it, and some are so panicked that they're now stockpiling basic foods and goods and foods. Interesting though, when you go down the supermarket and the shelves and you look at what's being taken, a lot of it is not good for us anyway. All the good stuff like vegetables and salads and fruit, that's still there in abundance. It seems all the junk food is going first. Amazing. So it's a good idea to prepare for major emergencies, but this includes a viral outbreak, of course. But we have to bear in mind that stress hormones tax the immune system, making its response to viral infections less effective. So in short, the stress hormone cortisol can boost immunity by limiting inflammation, but once it's crossed a certain threshold, too much cortisol in the blood opens the doors for more inflammation. So stress also negatively impacts the production of lymphocytes, which you saw one of those a little while ago. That's the white blood cell. It's the body's first line defense against infection, and puts you at risk of viral disease. So don't panic, because you're only going to make things worse. Remember, the effects of stress are cumulative, meaning that even ordinary day-to-day activities can eventually lead to more serious health issues. So don't stress. Take breaks when you feel burned out. Try to practice some relaxation techniques like meditation, positive thinking, reading a book, and just maybe doing some study on something else other than the virus. Exercise, but don't go overboard. Regular exercise promotes cardiovascular health. It lowers blood pressure. It helps control body weight and offers protection against diseases. Exercise also improves blood circulation, allowing the immune system cells to move through your body more freely and do their job more effectively. However, once again, intensive exercise can cause inflammation in the body, and that may send the immune system into overdrive, which is what you just don't want. So try not to take things overboard, especially during times of this seasonal viral outbreaks, whether it's flu or whether it's other even measles and chickenpox and anything like that. Well, we don't hear so much about that these days. It seems to be all this COVID-19 virus. And one of the big things, of course, is eating balanced diet of fruit and vegetables. The immune system is the body's natural defense system. Like an army, its warriors need sustenance. So make sure you eat a balanced diet with fruit, vegetables, in order to receive the right proportion of micronutrients. Do I need to say anything about smoking? Don't smoke. Smoking tobacco has lots of effects on the immune system, such as greater susceptibility to infections like pneumonia and influenza. So this is one of the major combatants against this infection. If you're smoking, please stop. You're leaving yourself wide open. So and also long-lasting illnesses. It'll take you a lot longer to get over it, and it lowers the levels of protective antioxidants such as vitamin C in the blood. Now, vitamin C, that's another question. How much vitamin C should you take? I remember when I came back from an overseas trip, it took me a long time to get myself back in gear again. And I went to a doctor who is an alternative practice doctor, and he gave me a intravenous injection. I forget how much he gave me, but it took half an hour for this dosage of vitamin C to be injected into my system. Now, I can honestly say that the very next day I felt like Superman. It really did work well. But doctors, specialists, they tell us that the body will only take so much vitamin C and it will reject the rest. So I don't suggest that everybody should go out and get an intravenous injection of vitamin C. Probably your doctor's not going to advise you on that either. So please just increase the natural vitamin C intake by eating oranges and any vegetables that are high in vitamin C. That's the best way to get the right amount of vitamins into your bloodstream. The other thing is get enough sleep. Studies show that people who don't get quality sleep or enough sleep are more likely to get sick after being exposed to a virus. And when we sleep, the body releases proteins called cytokines, while sleep deprivation decreases their production. So cytokines are paramount during times of infection or inflammation. What's more, the production of antibodies, antibodies and immune cells is reduced when you don't get enough sleep. So that really is important to get enough sleep. Optimal sleep for most adults is around 7 or 8 hours. Now, I'm one of those fortunate people who don't need a lot of sleep, and if I sleep longer than 8 hours, I just can't. I don't think I sleep any more than about 6.5. And if I get 6.5 hours sleep, I'm fine. So just lately I've been getting 7, but last night I had a terrible night. I was very restless, and I'll tell you why shortly, because I didn't wear something that I have, which I normally do, and so I'll tell you about that in a minute. A note on supplements. Although you will find bottles of pills and herbal supplements claiming to promote immunity or otherwise boost the immune system, there is no evidence that they actually bolster immunity. Reducing reliance on antibiotics. Now, one of the major issues facing the modern world is the growing resistance of bacteria to antibiotics. What do you want? Cat's meowing. There have been no new classes of antibiotics for 30 years, and the bacterial resistance to antibiotics means that we have untreatable infections and face a future where surgery will become riskier. Now, many of you already have an Oscar pulse. Now, if you haven't, I strongly urge that you get one. Why? I'm going to show you why. Oscar Pulse is a small, portable medical device that uses PEMF, I'll call it PEMF, to modulate cell membrane. It's designed to speed cellular recovery in order to deal with joint pain caused by injury or degenerative disorders like osteoarthritis. And I really want to read an article to you written by a doctor in the USA. Now, I'm not going to read it all because it's fairly long. He did, I mean, there's 2 pages of it here. He did start off by saying, I continue to learn and am amazed by all the benefits of PEMF therapy. And he goes on and on and on and on. But the bit that I want to read out to you, which is appropriate to us right here and now, is this bit here. PEMF, PEMF, that's pulsed electromagnetic field therapy, can help you in so many ways. Perhaps the most profound impact is directly on our immune functions. Studies have found that phagocytosis, you know all about phagocytosis now, you know what that is increased by 52%. In our immune system, phagocytosis is a major mechanism used to remove pathogens, that's viruses and bacteria, and cell debris. The ingested material is then digested as a phagocyte. Now, phagocytosis is perhaps the single best tool we have in our immune system. So if you're looking for a quicker way to get over that cold, flu, trauma, or fight infection, PEMF therapy is your tool. Now, PEMF is the basis of Oscar Pulse. Oscar Pulse uses 4 consecutive treatment programs within its microprocessor that's built into the system that retains all the memory, everything that's needed to make the Oscar Pulse work effectively. And if you would like to talk to us about that later on, I'm not going to go into too much detail. I have up next is the contact details for us. So if you want to have a look at what the device does, then you can go onto our website, medictechnologies.com.au. Now, I meant to put up there also the American website, which is Oscar Wellness, OSKAWELLNESS. That's oscarwellness.com. That's the American site. it's a beautifully presented website. What I'm going to suggest though is that if you are interested in buying, if you don't have one and you're interested in buying one, don't buy it from the OscarWellness.com site, because you'll end up paying for freight all the way from America to here. So if you ring us, you get it freight free anywhere in Australia and New Zealand. And you can phone us on any one of those numbers there. The phone number on the left with the +61, obviously that's Australia. So if you're in New Zealand or if you're in the UK or anywhere else, you can phone us on that number. If you're anywhere else in Australia, it's 08 9306 1200. Or if you you can actually use the 1300 number there as well, 1300 764 117. Obviously, if you're just local, that's all you need, 9306 1200. So just give us a call if you want to have a chat. Now, where are we? Next one. Defend yourself against allergies, against this virus. You now know how your immune system works and how important it is to eat the right foods, am I going to get myself back? Yeah. To eat the right foods, give up smoking, look after your body, do a bit of exercise, don't overdo it, keep yourself active, stress-free. They're the most important things to help your immune system. There's nothing else that you can do. Your body is fantastically built. Every half hour I spend looking at how the body is built. Did you know that your body has between, and now scientists they disagree over this, but some say there's 32 trillion cells. Others say your body has 100 trillion cells. What we do know is that there are somewhere around about 200 different types of cell in your body. And when you look at each individual cell in your body, each one of those 200 different types, and the way it's constructed and what makes that cell tick is absolutely, it's almost unbelievable. And every 30 minutes or so that I spend studying the human body, it feels like I've entered another world. It is just absolutely amazing. And when I see the results of what we use, and that's why I didn't sleep terribly well last night, I tell you that, because I didn't put my Oscar Pulse under my pillow last night, and I know that's why I didn't sleep. So if you've got one, if you've got the Oscar Pulse and you don't sleep well, stick it under your pillow. It certainly does work. Okay, that's just about it. I don't think there's anything else I can talk to you about tonight. Thank you for joining us. We will be doing some more. What comes next? Oh yes, that is it. No more images, nothing else to show you tonight. Thank you for joining me for the last 30 minutes. I hope you've learned something. Remember those two things. What was it? Phagocytosis, the immune system, the lymph system, phagocytes and lymphocytes. The phagocytes and lymphocytes. Phagocytes like soldiers with machine guns, and lymphocytes like the MI5 lurking around there, taking it all in, understanding all about the pathogens that are invading your body and making sure that they document it and diarise it, and make sure that they attack those pathogens very sincerely the next time they try to invade your body. So, okay, thanks guys. Nice to see you all there. Wait a minute. See whether I can see who's there. No, I can't. It doesn't show up. No, can't do it. I'd love to know why we can't. Okay, I can see that we've got 11 comments. Look, any comments that are there. See whether I can see who's there. No, I can't. It doesn't show up. Any comments that come up in the last in this session, any questions that you've asked, we will endeavour to answer them online. So, okay, that's it. Thanks for joining me, and now I close out. Here we go. Good night.